I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of what my capacity is so you understand why I'm teaching this to you guys and why I utilize this opportunity to identify limiting programs. And by limiting programs, I mean limiting belief systems or limiting things in your mind that get in the way of you having anything you've ever decided you've wanted. I've worked in a lot of really different alternative therapies. I've done a lot of hypnotherapy, or as a hypnotherapist, doing a lot of deep state theta hypnosis therapy. Some pretty interesting stuff as far as the mind goes and what the human has capacity to create or not create, for that matter. And I had an enlightenment experience that gifted me the ability to tap into your brain and actually know the blocks that are in the way. And so it's not an easy topic to talk about. It seems super woo-woo, and I hate that space because it's really not where I came from. However, it's an extremely powerful process that works every single time. And so I have nothing except for my own process and the results of what that can create with people to sell. So how I ended up working with high profile, high impact humans is because the work that I do works. And the results are proof in the pudding. And so as I've been doing it for a decade, it's just, I've been handed off to higher levels and higher levels and higher levels every single time. And now that's where I play, and the referrals come from that direction. Excuse me. So I've just recently leaned into teaching how to identify your limiting programs, because there's so many people that are wanting to get there and just they're stumbling on themselves and then going down instead of anywhere else. And they're not even going sideways anymore. They're going down because they feel defeated. And that is the last thing that will get you anywhere. As soon as you start buying belief systems that actually turn you inside out and against yourself, because you're starting to believe that you're not capable. And everyone is capable. The difference is your belief systems that you bought all along or that rode in on day stop you from having what you want. So I'm just going to give you a general synopsis and idea of how you can identify your limiting belief systems, your limiting programs. And I'm going to use the analogy of a computer, which is the easiest way for me to describe how it works for you. And for me, for everyone, is your skin suit is your computer. Right? This is the computer that you have. The cells of you hold all the data that are available on the planet that you have, well, I say for lack of better words, bought to believe or understand, whether it's from your parents, your surroundings, the education system, maybe indoctrinated in other religions or anything else. You have bought all these belief systems that have been in your world as truth. Excuse me. And everything you believe to be true is. Everything you believe to be true is. So it doesn't matter whether you believe something's good or you believe something's not good. Both of those are true, whichever way you're going to look at it. And because this reality is a 100% reflection of your belief systems or your programming, you must realize and experience that truth, whatever your belief is. So if you believe that you can have anything you've ever wanted and there's nothing in your way, guess what? That's what you're having. And you see a lot of people out there knowing that, even athletes. That's why I like them so much. They know that they can have anything they want. They know that they're the best and they're going to get there, and they train to get there, and they hire the best people to train them to get there. And they actually get there. They go to the Olympics or they play on, NHL teams or the PGA or whatever, and they actually get there. I would say that Tiger Woods didn't get to be the best because he was born that way. He actually was taught to believe that he is. And therefore, his reality reflects exactly that. He keeps getting better and better and better in his own mind. And therefore, it reflects that. And the second that he buys some belief systems that create a detriment to his reality, that's what also happens. Right? So it's that whatever he's buying along the way is creating his reality. It's not that he's any different than any one of us. It's his belief systems that were installed, right, into this hardware. The software is the belief system. The hardware is what, where you store it in your brain, right, inside of the skin suit. And so your life, your reality is the screen, right? Excuse me. Much like when computers first came out, the screen was green and black. That's all we knew, right? The programmers that programmed the computers We're like, yeah, you can see like green and black, you see the cursor blinking, that's what you're seeing, that's the program. And then eventually it got more vibrant and they programmed in color. And what do we see? Color, because the program dictates what we're going to experience. So it's no longer a black and green screen, it is now a color screen because the programmer programmed it to be so. And on it goes. Right now we're into quantum computing, which is going even beyond that, but those are also program pieces. So that your individual person, is the programmer of your reality, holding the programs that you have decided are true for you. You're going to experience that in your reality. Now, the limiting belief systems are what we're after, because those are the things that are actually in the way of getting what you want. If you're looking at your business and you want to hit your next financial targets, you can set the target as high as you want, but if you have belief systems that there's no way in hell you're getting there, you won't. Doesn't matter what system you employ. You're not going to get there, because whatever you've decided, whatever program's running is what's going to show up for you. So we want to be able to identify what are those programs, because let's say that is true, right? You're running on your programs. That's how your reality is showing up. There's shit in the way and you want to get rid of it. How do I know what that is? How can I identify those belief systems, those programming pieces that are actually in my way so that I can blow past them? And the indicator for that are your emotions. Now, when I say emotions, we're talking now frequency, right? Science says everything is frequency. You're going to identify a frequency, a number that's going to indicate your belief systems. Now, your emotions, how your emotions display themselves, are going to be your indicator of the level of frequency that you're at. So a lower frequency emotion is anything under neutral. So if you're neutral about something, somebody does something and your neighbor is losing his ever-loving mind in anger, and you're like, meh, doesn't bother me. You're neutral. He's not, right? He's got a lower frequency emotion happen. When you have a lower frequency emotion happening, how can you identify from that point what is the belief system? What you get to do is then look at the situation occurring or the person that you've then been emotionally triggered by, and ask yourself, what are they being? What are they being? So I'm going to give you an example just from my real life, actually, just from something happening here. We live on a great street. Our next door neighbor is an engineer. He and his wife are retired, very anal, very all about, the processes and the systems and the things. And they will come over and measure how far away our shed is from the fence, right? And remind us, hey, do you need some help moving that? It's not 3 feet from the fence. That kind of, human. Decides to buy this monstrosity of a camper that sits in the driveway. And in our area, that's just not, it's not in the code. You're not allowed to do that. You have to go park it somewhere and pay for it. But it's out there week over week over week over week. Now, my husband has deemed it the Sun Blocker 2000 because somehow it's so big, it blocks out the sun. I don't care. I'm like, whatever, he's going to park it there. So what? I mean, the thing is, he cleans it weekly. So the thing is like sparkling. He could sell it, 10 years later, still look exactly the same as the day he bought it. But my husband is losing his mind. Like, there isn't anything that he can do except for be grumbly about it. The second he pulls into the driveway, sees the Sun Blocker 2000, comes inside and goes, maybe I should just call. I'll go and call the city and send something. The difference between he and I is we're having the same exact experience. Like, it's there. The Sun Blocker 2000 is there. I think it's hysterical and it's there. It doesn't bother me. He thinks it's been this repeating thing in his world that makes him angry because it's just not supposed to be there. And the guy's so anal about everything else. How could he not know that that's a violation of the town codes and like the whole 9 yards? But it literally emotionally impacts him. So if I were to discover with my husband what his programming is, just based on that experience, that we're both witnessing the exact same thing and we both have two different experiences with it, for him, I would ask him, what is Gary being that triggers you so? What is he being? Right? He's got probably 300 words that he would say that he's being, but it's still going to indicate the limiting programs. All right. This isn't the best part. Just because we're identifying, okay, maybe he's being an asshole. Maybe he's being ignorant. Maybe he just doesn't care. Maybe he's super selfish, right? Doesn't care about anybody else, can do his own thing. All of those things are indicators of, now, I don't know about you guys, but I can't help myself sometimes, no better words. Those are the limiting belief systems, bullshit, lies you bought about yourself, right? You bought these lies about yourself at some point in your life, which caused it to be a program for you. And because your reality is a reflection of your belief systems, you have no choice but to see it in your world. So somewhere in my husband's life, he believed that he was ignorant or selfish or an asshole. Someone may have said that to him, and he might have for 2 seconds contemplated it and bingo, bought the belief system that maybe he is that. If he started looking back in his life and going, God, am I an asshole? He might have bought for 2 seconds the belief system because he's maybe had heard it enough that that's what he is. And so in his reality, he's going to see the reflection of that potential. Now, the reason why you're having a lower frequency emotional response to it is because it's a lie or an untruth or a misalignment to your true nature as source energy, as like a pure, clean energy that actually doesn't have any of those programming pieces, right? You come into a skin suit, from energy into a skin suit without any of that until you have a skin suit, and then you start buying all these programming pieces or these belief systems based on your environment, right? The petri dish of your life. So when it comes down to you and you're looking at your reality and you want to apply this principle to, say, your next financial level, maybe it's $13 million next year. And you're like, that's what I'm having. That's what I want. I got all these things I want to do. I want to buy these things. I want to be able to hire more people. I want to do whatever. But 13 million is my target because this year I made 7. Right. So I want to hit 13, magical number 13. You can decide that all you want. And $7 million might be your cap. You're there and you're holding on to it. And your thought processes and maybe even your influences are saying, yeah, but you could scale and go bigger, right? Or you could double that. And you're wanting to buy it, go, yeah, I do. I want to do that. I want to do that. So you set your target on it, but there's just something that's in the way. You're like, I just don't know that I'm actually going to get there. I've made 7 million for the last 6 years. I don't know how I'm going to actually get to the next level. I thought every year I was adding things in and doing different things, but I haven't seemed to get over the hump of 7 million. That's when you're starting to wonder, like, what am I doing wrong? Right? You're starting to turn and look at yourself and identify the places that, what am I doing wrong? And how come when I implement this, maybe I hire a bunch of new people, but then other people leave and now I'm back where I started. And you kind of hit this cycle of no moving. And then this little thing creeps up in your world in the back of your mind and goes, you know what? You always knew that you weren't actually going to get there. It's everybody else that's actually going to get there, not you. And you try to tamp that down, where it's that like little almost devil on your shoulder that's reminding you, remember when you thought that? You're not actually that good. You may appear good to everybody else and you're going to hold up that, you're going to hold up that big brave face, like everybody's going to believe that you're the best at what you do, but you know that you're not. And that belief system right there, that the aspects that are embroiled within those thought processes are what's in the way. Because it will absolutely stop you from getting any further than you already are. Now, the dive deep into that is look around your world, or even at the target of that and the pieces of the puzzle that come into play, and how do you respond to them emotionally, right? Maybe you go to the bank and you're like, okay, listen, I'm to grow my business, I'm going to have to invest $2 million to make another 6 or another 7. And the bank's like, well, you only made 7 last year. I really don't think this is going to work for you. Right. And you're like, well, how could it not work? Like, I have assets, it's just not working. But for some reason, the bank is just it's turning you down every single time. But yet Joe Blow down the street can borrow all the money he wants and he has nothing in the way. And he doesn't even have a business. right? So you're kind of now you're comparing yourself to other people. You're like, I don't understand it. Like, I'm actually banking money. This dude has a Joe Blow job and he just bought a $2 million home. Right. So you're starting to wonder, like, what am I doing wrong? Maybe I got dealt crap cards and that's it. And I'm like, again, proving that little devil on your shoulder that you're just not actually good enough. And, someone's going to find out and someone's going to figure it out. And now you're holding a bit of an imposter syndrome feeling. And you better hold your stance, right? You don't want anybody to see that stuff, and yet you still want to grow. So you have these like blocks, and they're real and true. And they're actually preventing you from having what you want. When you're thinking 13, and that's you're like, oh God, it's not even double what I want. In actuality, you could say 113 million, and it could be possible. Right? The difference is the limitations, like in your belief systems, that are going to prevent you from getting there. So there's also relationship things that could indicate where you're at in your belief systems. Like if you look around, your closest humans, be your family, your spouse, your friends, your colleagues, the closest humans in your world are going to show you your biggest programming pieces. If it's a spouse or someone that's close to you, and they irritate you in a way that always is there and never seems to go away, that programming piece isn't just with them. They're just showing it to you. It's everywhere. And it might just be something as simple as they start something and never finish it. Could be the laundry, could be the dishes, right? When I see only half the dishes have been put away in the dishwasher, I'm thinking, are you effing kidding me? Right? Why is there still half sitting there? It's the littlest things, right? That could drive you crazy. But the best part about that is my emotional response is going to indicate the belief system, that programming piece that's in the way. Now, it's everywhere. Just because I'm seeing it at home with the dishwasher doesn't mean that doesn't exist in my business. Because I could have assistants like EAs, salespeople, marketing people that are doing exactly that. They start something, get halfway through, and then turn and do something else and leave that piece on the table. And you're thinking, what the hell are you doing? Why didn't you finish that marketing plan? We started that. We have a target now. Like what, right? Same exact programming. Same thing. The difference is it's not individuated by the person. It's everywhere. You're going to see it everywhere. What indicates it to you is the most important part. And unfortunately, it happens to be the people that are closest to you in your world, because they're the ones that are right there in every moment. And you're going to see all the little things all the time. And the greatest part about that, even though it might be as irritating as hell, is that they're showing it to you. They're allowing you to see it, right? It's not that they're doing it on purpose. They're just doing them. But what's indicating to you is that that belief system, that limiting programming is showing up because they're so awesome to be in your world, right? It's like, oh man, I've been with my husband for 25 years. We've been married for 20. I'll tell you, over a decade ago, there ain't no way I would have banked on that would happen with us, that we would still be together. There's no way. I would have I'm thinking there's too many things. We're opposite in nature. There's too many things. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a high achiever. I'm a high performer. And owns a manufacturing company, and he's like very steady, super steady, so solid, in fact, that I missed all those great pieces about him for all the shit that drove me nuts. Until I had this beautiful gift, right? Drop into my reality. And I was like, oh man, now I know. All these programming pieces that are showing up, everything he's doing that irritates me is actually an indicator of a program that I bought about myself that's a lie. And one at a time, I turned those suckers off, and our relationship got better, better, and better. And not only did it get better, it started getting enhanced. And all the areas I thought were lacking, it was me the whole time. So my favorite saying, it's never them. It's always you, right? So if you're being shown an indicator where someone's being judgmental, they're not actually being judgmental for the sake of them being judgmental, because anybody could do that. But your trigger point to them being judgmental indicates that you bought that about yourself, and it's a lie. And only if that is a trigger of a lower frequency emotion, right? That's where you're indicating the things within you that get to be shifted. Now, what does that have to do with your business? Everything. Because that programming isn't selective. It's 100% 360 all across the quantum aspect of your life. There isn't anything that's not touched by it. So bring that scenario into every business move you have, and you will see your bullshit program showing up with everyone. How will that work for you if the bank manager is always poo-pooing your request for a greater aspect of your business to be enhanced? He's letting everybody else borrow money. He's giving everybody else the opportunity, but you know something about you. He just keeps feeling that like, nah, I can't trust this person with the bank's money. It's never them, it's always you. So the indicator is, how are you responding to it? And what programming piece is he being that you get to shift? What do you get to be aware of that you bought about yourself that's not actually true?